Every creative has a process. Some just don't know what theirs is yet. What if the breakthrough you're waiting for isn't about working harder, it's thinking clearer? Today, I'm sharing a framework I use on every video I create. Whether I'm producing a story for a client, I'm teaching a course, or coaching a creator, it's not a checklist, it's a rhythm, a mindset. See it, say it, sow it, show it. And it all starts with one powerful question: what can this idea become? Before I step on set, before I open a timeline or plan a shot list, I sit with the idea and I ask, what can this become? Not what gear do I need, not what's the deadline, but what's the potential of this story if I give it everything I've got? Then I do something critical. I validate the idea, because before I spend hours chasing it, I have to make sure it matters. So I run it through the who cares test. Not to be harsh, but if no one cares, what's the point? So if I can't explain who it's for, why it matters, or what the emotional payoff is, then it's probably not ready, or it's not the right idea for right now. Now here's the truth. I constantly have ideas while I'm in the shower, watching TV, driving, talking on the phone, or flipping back through old notes in my journal or app. Some of them feel good, some feel great, and a few feel amazing. But that doesn't mean they all deserve my time, so I grade them A, B, C. A ideas are the ones worth my time and energy right now. B ideas I like, but they need to wait. C ideas are just average or not ready, and that's okay. Actually, the idea for this video came from one of those old journals. It was a concept I jotted down a few years ago, but never really developed. Didn't have a place for it back then, but I do now. And it fits perfectly in this format. So once I knew it was an A and that it passed the who cares test, I built it out as far as I could see, frame by frame, moment by moment, stretching the concept visually and emotionally. Then I paused and ran it through a reality filter. Can I do this in the time I have, with the crew I've hired, and the resources available to me? Then I zoom out, and that's where the macro view comes in. Who's this story really for? The client, the audience? Does it fit their world? Does it connect? Does it engage the way it needs to? Does it present the right message and tell the right story? Because here's the hard truth. I can tell the most amazing story, but if my audience doesn't care, I've wasted a lot of time and resources. So now I reverse engineer. I start with the audience. What do they care about? What do they need to feel? Then I work backward and shape the story. That's the macro viewer, thinking big picture. Once I know where I'm headed, I zoom in, the micro view, and start shaping the experience beat by beat. Once I've visualized the story, seen it in my head, or mapped it out on paper, I take a deep breath and I ask myself, what's the core of this story? Because before I shoot anything, I need to strip it down. It's easy to fall in love with every idea, every soundbite, every moment, but I've learned that powerful stories don't try to say everything, they say one thing really well. So I simplify. I look for the heart, the emotional truth. I don't want a shallow, broad story. I want a narrow, deep one that lands. It's like being a chef. You don't want to overcrowd the plate because too many sides and sauces and you pull focus from the dish. Same with storytelling. If your audience doesn't know where to look or what to feel, you've already lost them. So after I see it, I shape it, I refine it, until every bite, every moment serves the story. Then I move to step 2, say it. I talk it out loud, to a collaborator, to a client, into a voice memo. Saying it helps clarify it. It sharpens your thinking and reveals what's working, maybe what's not. But I don't stop there. I write a 3-word focus statement. just 3 words that capture the heart of the story. If I can't get it down to 3 words, I'm not ready to move on. Not to sow it, and definitely not to show it. Sometimes I'll expand that into a short focused sentence, one clear, simple line that defines what the story really is about. It's not about the footage or the pacing, it's all about the message. Now, a quick note here, it's okay if your 3-word focus statement uses connectors like and or. Sometimes that's exactly what it needs to feel natural and complete. This isn't about being clever, it's about being clear. Focus fuels intention. Without it, I'm just wasting time and money making a mediocre video no one wants to watch. Let me give you a real example. Years ago, I was developing a documentary about a star running back who had played in the NFL. After his football career, he came back to his hometown, not to disappear, but to give back. He was mentoring young men, feeding families, showing up in people's lives in a very real and tangible way. As I interviewed him and the people he was helping, a focus statement popped into my head. Otto Kelly's heart. That was the story. A big guy with a bigger heart. I used the same method to write my book. You really got to see this. A book for video creators and storytellers. My 3-word focus statement for that book is change creative mindsets. That was the heartbeat of the whole thing. Every story, every principle, every example was written to do exactly that, to challenge the way video creators think, not just what they do. And here's a little behind the scenes truth. One of my biggest creative challenges is that I talk and think out loud. I do it a lot. It's how I work through ideas. I'll say something, hear my own voice, and then start editing as I go. It drives some people crazy, but it helps me find the thread, the real message underneath the noise. That's why Say It matters. It's not just about pitching the idea to someone else, it's about refining it for yourself. And when I do talk to a client about it, that 3-word phrase or short focus sentence is usually what sticks. Because here's the thing, the biggest challenge I usually face is trying to explain the idea to someone else. If I get too detailed, they get lost. So I present it as simply as I can, and I focus on messaging and outcome. Not just how we'll get there, but what it's going to feel like, look like, and do for the audience. When a client understands the end result, they're far more likely to trust the process. That's part of saying it too. Not just for you, but for them. Then comes Sow It. This is where I shift the focus from my idea to their experience. What am I planting in this location? What emotion? What message? What moment will stay with them long after the video ends? Will they remember tomorrow or forget it in 5 minutes? That's where real storytelling lives. This is where your story becomes meaningful. Only then, after I've seen it, said it, and sow it, do I bring it to life, frame by frame, beat by beat, through visual, sound, pacing, and tone. But I don't do that alone. Sometimes I'll call a shooter and ask, what kind of gear do I need to pull this shot off? Or I'll call a gaffer and describe a scene I can see in my head and ask how they'd light it. I ask about miking talent. What's the best way to capture the sound I need? Clean, clear, intimate. And I always talk to the online editor about the style, the pace, the rhythm I'm aiming for. So we're aligned before the first frame even hits the timeline. Because Sow It isn't just about executing the idea, it's about elevating it by surrounding yourself with the right people to make it better than what you imagined. And honestly, many times these pros will alert me to things I haven't considered. Will there be a lot of noise outside? Is there enough time for a full setup? Or do we need to pivot? Are we working in a controlled space, or will distractions and unpredictability affect the shoot? These conversations help me plan better before, during, and after. They make the final story stronger, more real, more effective. So here's how you can apply this today. Number 1, Ask, what can this idea become? 2. Build it out as far as you can. 3. Validate it. Run it through the who cares test. 4. Triage your ideas, A's, B's, and C's. 5. Run the idea through the reality filter. 6. Say it. Write a 3-word focus statement and 1-line focus sentence. 7. Simplify it for the client. Focus on outcome. 8. Sow it with purpose. What do you want your audience to feel, remember, or do? 9. Then, and only then, show it. With clarity, with a team, with intention. Great stories don't start with a shot list. They start with vision and the courage to ask, what does this really need to say? And if you're looking for a deeper dive into this framework and others that will change the way you think about storytelling, I wrote a book just for you. It's called You Really Gotta See This, and it's a playbook for video creators and storytellers who want to shift their mindset, shape stronger stories, and build work that lasts. One reader told me a single chapter completely changed the way he valued his work and raised his rates. So if you're ready to sharpen your creative process and tell stories that connect, grab your copy of You Really Gotta See This on Amazon or wherever books are sold. Great stories don't just happen, they're shaped. See it, say it, sow it, show it, and you'll move from making content to making impact. Thanks for watching.